My opinion on psychedelics is that doing psychedelics, particularly mushrooms and maybe some other psychedelics, but I'm not so experienced in that, but particularly doing psychedelics is with therapy is amazing at reprogramming the brain. There's always going to be a small percentage of people that it's not good for, so there's always going to be exceptions. And before you do anything, you know, do lots of research and do it in a safe, legal environment. That's my recommendation. But I'm beginning to veer towards that being for healing people emotionally, especially if they've done lots of work on themselves, so they understand the mind and they understand their dynamics. Like, so if I just put somebody off the street on psychedelics, or if they just did a psychedelic trip, it could have a really amazing, expansive experience. But I think it's better if somebody's like more aware of themselves and done exploration. But maybe not, I don't know about that. But I tend to think that they might just go into really dark places and have no perspective on it. But they could also have like an orgasmic love opening. But I tend to think that this actually may now be better than a lot of talk therapy. I think talk therapy and a lot of like these emotional releases are great, and they do good things, and they can teach you about dynamics in your family, changing dynamics, putting up boundaries, how to deal with emotions, be with your emotions. So there's like so many great things there. But mushrooms is a new level. It like really is like a springboard to changing it, because neural pathways are very difficult to change. So even though you might have learned all these things and been reconditioning yourself with a therapist or working with a non-duality teacher, you might have learned all these things, but actually changing the neural pathways it's so deeply embedded might be very hard. So you might be able to restrain yourself from doing these destructive patterns, but the mushrooms that add a new dimension to it. And they even think that that's what's happening when you take psychedelics, is the neural pathways are changing and regrowing, I think. I don't really understand the science of it, but you can read a lot about it. I have some books on my reference page on psychedelics. But I really recommend doing it with you know, a therapist that's trained in this. Yeah. Yeah. I think that in the psychedelic experience, there's something that is releasing the abstract thoughts and the thoughts of you and the attachment to yourself as this person that's moving in time. Like, you can't keep repeating your story. So there is this big connection to non-duality, but it's all experiential, what we remember after mushrooms. So that's not it. But in the mushroom experience, I think the attachment to self is dissolving, and so the consciousness is coming more forward, and the I am. Yeah. What is the most beautiful experience you've ever had? Well, I think that's like total oneness experience, which you can get from taking psychedelics. But yeah, that was like yeah, the oneness experience. The oneness experience is when there is totally no you and no external world. It's not, you can't really function from that place. So it's not an integrated perspective, but it's a lot of people have it. It's like an awakening, and it's just like heaven. It's very blissful and it's very loving. Yeah, it's yeah, beautiful.